What if I told you that a single decision made nearly 2 million years ago is the reason you're capable of reading this sentence right now? No claws, no venom, no raw physical power. Yet somehow, one species figured out something no other animal on Earth ever did, and it changed everything. So what exactly did early humans discover? Why didn't any other species stumble onto it? And what did it actually do to our bodies and minds that made us who we are today? Let's start with something strange. Every animal on this planet eats food in its natural state. Lions tear into raw meat. Chimps chew raw fruit and leaves for hours. Even our closest primate relatives, despite sharing over 98% of our DNA, never figured out fire-based cooking. So why us? Why only us? Here's the first surprising truth. Cooking isn't just a convenience. It's a biological cheat code. Raw food takes enormous energy to digest. Chewing alone can take hours, and the body has to work incredibly hard just to break down tough proteins in fibrous plants. But heat changes everything. Cooking breaks down tough plant cell walls and denatures proteins, making them dramatically easier for the body to digest and absorb. Primatologist Richard Wrangham, a Harvard biological anthropologist, proposed something revolutionary in his research, an idea now known as the cooking hypothesis. He argued that the ability to cook food wasn't just a helpful skill early humans picked up, it was the very thing that allowed the human brain to grow into what it is today. But here's where things get strange. The human brain is incredibly expensive to run. Even though it's only about 2% of your body weight, it consumes roughly 20% of your total energy intake. That's an enormous metabolic cost. So how did early humans afford it? Cooked food provided a massive energy surplus compared to raw food. Studies analyzing caloric absorption have shown that cooking meat and starchy foods significantly increases the number of calories the body can actually extract from them. In other words, cooking didn't just make food taste better, it gave early humans access to far more usable energy than raw food ever could. Now ask yourself, what would you do with that extra energy if you were an early human just trying to survive? That extra energy didn't just go towards physical growth. Increasingly, evidence suggests it went towards something else entirely: brain expansion. Then scientists discovered something unexpected.
Comparative studies looking at brain size across primates found a consistent pattern. Species that ate more energy-dense, easily digestible food tended to develop larger brains relative to body size. Humans, once cooking became a consistent part of daily life, experienced significant increases in brain volume over evolutionary time. This wasn't coincidence, this was cause and effect. But cooking didn't just feed the brain, it also freed up an enormous amount of time. While chimpanzees can spend more than 6 hours a day chewing raw food just to meet their caloric needs, that's most of their waking life dedicated purely to eating. Once early humans began cooking food, digestion time dropped dramatically. Suddenly, there were hours in the day previously consumed by chewing that were now available for something else: tool making, social bonding, exploration, and eventually complex thought. Think about that for a second. Fire didn't just cook dinner, it potentially created free time, arguably one of the earliest luxuries in human history. But the real mystery is this: why didn't evolution simply favor bigger jaws and stronger digestive systems instead, the way it did in other animals? This is where the story gets even more fascinating. As human brains grew larger, our digestive systems actually became smaller. Researchers studying human anatomy compared to other primates found that human intestines are notably shorter relative to body size than would be expected for a primate of our proportions. This is sometimes referred to as the expensive tissue hypothesis, the idea that as one costly organ system shrinks, it can free up energy for another to grow. In our case, a smaller gut helped fund a bigger brain. That's when everything changed. Cooking also transformed human social structure. Sharing cooked meals became a communal act, something almost no other species does in the same structured way. Anthropological research on hunter-gatherer societies shows that cooking and eating together created social bonds, established communication patterns, and even influenced early divisions of labor. The campfire wasn't just a source of warmth, it became one of humanity's first social institutions. But here's something that should genuinely surprise you.
Some researchers argue that cooking may have also influenced human anatomy in more subtle ways, including the size of our teeth and jaw muscles. Compared to other primates, human jaws are smaller and less powerful because cooked food requires far less force to chew. Over generations, natural selection favored these anatomical changes, since raw survival advantages shifted once fire entered the equation. So what does all of this really mean? It means the moment humans learned to control fire and apply it to food wasn't just a survival tool, it was quite possibly the ignition point for human intelligence itself. Every invention, every language, every civilization that followed may trace its roots back to that first cooked meal. And here's the philosophical twist worth sitting with. We often imagine human intelligence as something separate from biology, as if thought exists above the body, but the truth may be far more humbling. Our ability to think, create, and imagine might not have emerged from ambition or willpower at all. It may have started with something as simple and as primal as heat meeting flesh. So the next time you sit down to a warm meal, consider this. You're not just eating dinner, you're participating in the very act that may have made your ability to think possible in the first place.